This is Magnolia Cobandori, which is a yellow one in the background here. We're going to move this from this location. I feel it's a bit squashed in here with the crocea in behind it, which is that one with the berries there. On the right, David Austin Rose, the Pilgrim, which will be pruned back down towards the end of winter. And then on the left, got Camellia Brushfields Yellow. So between all of those, especially when the rose leaves out, the magnolia doesn't have a lot of chance. I feel it's not fully flowering and getting enough sun. It's 3 meters by 2 meters, and it's about 2 meters high now. So I'm going to move it another part of the property where we have a collection of magnolias, and it can join them there. It'll get a lot more sun. So let's give it a dig and remove it. So I'm going to dig this magnolia out now. Got Bren and my wife on video today. These are my favourite tools of operation, my trusty shovel and my steel shafted spade. It's had quite a lot of repairs and welding, but it still works well. I'll start by taking the ties and the stakes off, obviously, so I can get in here. And I'll be trying to dig out as much of the soil as I can around the root ball. Of course, you never get as much as you want, so we'll try our best. The tree itself is probably only 2 or 3 years old, so it's not particularly old, so I'm not expecting too much trouble from this one. Let's see how we go. Start with my shovel. I'll use my spade if I have to get in under the roots a bit more. Of course, you've got to be able to lift it when you get it out as well, so that's the other thing. Ideally, you'd have a little digger and dig it right out. Of course, you can't get a digger in here. And it would leave a huge crater to fill, so like I said, you can't get as much as you want, but you get as much as you can. So if I just go around first, loosen it up. Good time to move plants is winter time, when they're not so stressed for water and things. Usually once you've loosened them a little, you can get down and really start to move it around. There you go, you can see it starting to wiggle. This is usually about the time that the shovel handle likes to break. It's a good day for shifting because it's very overcast, and I think there's a shower of rain coming. Keeps the plants in good condition. This is nearly out now, so that's good. Just that side that I couldn't get around to by the rose there. There we go. It's actually a pretty good dig, that one, so I'll put this around in our barrow. You see, I got We've got good roots on that. Nothing major being chopped. So this is the home for the new Magnolia Cobandori. Well, it's not new home, but an old plant. So we're going to put it here. The reason it's going here is we've got magnolias around this little valley, which are all in full bud at the moment. We have good drainage here since we're volcanic. Those of you that aren't aware, Lake Taupo, which is just down the road over there. It's actually the crater of a volcano, a huge volcano. So we don't, at our place, we don't tend to get many rocks or pumice, but we're definitely well drained. Some patches there's a little sort of glassy, pumicey stuff, but definitely not clay, which is great for planting. I tend to add a little bit of compost to the holes, just to add a bit of nutrient. It's only a budget compost. So Dalton's product. Dalton's are based in Matamata and Waikato. I actually use their potting mix for the nursery, for the native nursery that we run. So that's the mix we use. They've actually rebranded it. You've got to look at the fine print to find it's Dalton's. So that's available at stockists around the country. So I usually mix a little of that just in the bottom. Like I said, we've got good drainage, so there's no fear of it becoming waterlogged. Here's my trusty shovel. There it is. So I stick that in. I haven't got much loose stuff on the bottom. 2 or 3 inches possibly, but it's not a big hole. I think that's about the size of my plant. I did have a measure before I started digging. Let's see how we go. Perfect size. So it's got one branch obviously, so I think we'll probably angle that over that way. That way it's away from the lawn where I'm mowing. That's not to say these won't grow over there, but in the near future we're all good. So I tend to throw a little more compost around it. Just to help with nutrients. I won't worry about giving it fertiliser. It may get a splash of acid fert after it's flowered, or after flowering time. We'll see if it does flower. So I'll just put some of this in underneath, and I find the easiest way to get it in there. Sometimes you can use your hand and fingers. You can also use the end of your shovel. You could use the blade of the shovel. I don't want to chop any more roots, so I'll just poke it with this. little more on top, and I'll sweep some of that soil around as well that came out of the hole. Give it a drink later on when I've finished. And I don't see any trouble brewing for this plant. Put a stand on it now. So I'm just trying to go around the very edge where the gap was rather than on the root ball. And I think that will be all good. Just make sure we haven't buried it any deeper than it was to start with. I'll keep it at the same height as where it came from. That goes with every plant. From a seedling to a tree. Put them back in the height they originally were. Don't cover them up. And that'll do it. Give it a drink. Should be away laughing. Along the side of our drive, we've got Prunus pendula rosea, which is a pendular shaped ornamental cherry tree with pinky rosy blooms. So on the other side had some weeping crab apples, but I've added some more of the same weeping cherry tree up here. So that's these top ones. There's one there and the other one over there. So I'm going to move these two crab apples that are weeping crab apples. I'm going to move these two, which are the bottom two. They all look a little similar at the moment because it's winter and they have no leaves. So we'll dig them out and relocate them while they're dormant. And that way these cherry trees up here can match these cherry trees over here. So these are the two weeping crab apples I'm going to move. So you can see the ground there maybe. You can see the ground. You might have to come in to see it. It's a lot looser than the magnolia was. You can see it moving around here a bit. So I won't have to, I'll still try and get plenty of soil, but I'm not expecting to have such a reliable root ball really. And we'll see how we go. This is actually the second home for these crab apples. They've been moved once already. To be honest with you, they haven't performed as well as they should. There's number one. Yeah, it doesn't look super flash, but I think it'll be alright, I'm not too worried. So we got this crab apple in the ground. Same as I did the magnolia earlier on. I'll loosen it, compost, jiggle it around, staked and tied it. So I've got this one over here to put in now, so I've dug the hole. I put the stake in first, so it saves me getting tangled up in the top of the plant sometimes. So I've got another stake which I'll put in on the back of this one. But if you have a look at the bottom of this hole, that first crab apple was quite hard. This one's not quite as bad, but look at that hard ground there, you can see it. Hear that? That's sometimes what we have for maybe a couple of inches, and it doesn't usually go for far. See, it's only half that hole, which doesn't look very exciting for a plant to go in, so I loosen that up a little bit and just throw a bit of compost in there. The talk is to not have a big hole under a plant in case it fills up with water, but like I said, we have good drainage. And I think when it's that hard, you've got to give the plant a little bit of a hand. So throw a little bit of compost in there. Give it a little stir around. I mean, this compost won't be too harsh on the roots. It's not real rich, but it is designed. Mix in with your soil that you've got on your property. Check the height of that one there, which is fairly close. I can give it a wiggle once it's in, if it's too deep. Some of this around. Make it get in under the roots a little easier than squashing it in with my hands. Here, pour in some of the soil I took out. A little bit more soil on top. That's good. I think that's at a good level. Slightly high is always good. Definitely won't fill up with water when it does rain, and means it's not buried too deep, planted too deep. Smooth it out, just make it a little bit easier for rain to soak in, or when I give it a drink shortly with the watering can. It looks nicer than footprints all over it. So I'm just going to put the other stake in. Like I said, I'll get tangled up trying to bang it in, so what I tend to do, if I can, just pull that over a little bit. It's not going to worry it too much right now. I try and put it on the virgin ground where I haven't dug, so it's a lot more solid. If I put it in here where it's soft, where I've been digging, I have to go that much deeper just to get to solid ground, so I'd need a longer stake. Put it out. The lifting up takes the energy, the dropping down is less energy. I'll just go down to where it was before. I usually try and get them the same height. Unless I'm on a very tall one, sometimes I put 2 metre ones on the west side normally of the tree, but that's close enough for me. And now we can tie it up. We're all done. I'll start with this side since I've pulled the tree crooked. I'll whack a staple in first. And then give it a pull and see how plumb the tree is. We were saying before how plumb it is. Even though it's a crab apple, we're still getting it plumb. Plumb meaning up and down, vertical. Does that look about right, Brenna? Roughly?
Yeah, pretty good.
More or less. It's got a curve in it, I realise that.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
But it's a tree, not a building, so it's good.
Au natural.
Au natural. My trusty scissors. Like I say, they're really good, as long as you've got them sharp. And don't pull staples out with them. Try and put the ties horizontal. Just means there's less play if you put them on an angle. If they do slide down, then obviously they're going to be loose because it's going to be a shorter distance, so the material is going to be too long. Simple stuff, but you just may not think of it at the time when you're putting the plant in and you're in a hurry, or it's windy or raining or something. Chop it off. Done. One last thing. I'll talk about my signage another day. But there it is. Malice. Ectomia. So Malice is the genus, like an apple tree. Ectomia is the cultivar name. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.